Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Grow Through It podcast. My name is Julia, and today we're going to be talking about becoming the best version of you. So, first things first, I want you to start thinking about and visualizing what the best version of you looks like, what they do, how they act, basically everything about them. This will be easier if you've already written out or done a vision board for your future life. Knowing what you want in life will make it easier to think about what person you want to become. If you've never done this before, I'd recommend doing the next activity I'm going to talk about. I've been hearing about this ChatGPT vision exercise on Instagram. Normally, AI kind of freaks me out, but utilizing it for this exercise I think is really beneficial. So basically, what you do is write out all your future goals and desires into the ChatGPT function. You want to be very specific and clear and also dream big. You don't want to hold back. Think if there were absolutely no obstacles or anything in your way, what life would you want to live? Write down what you want to do to make money, how much money you want to make, what kind of house you want to live in, how you want your relationship and family to look like, what hobbies you do. Be very specific and get as much detail in there as possible. Then you're going to ask ChatGPT to tell you a story of a day in the life as your future self based on the description you just wrote. You can read this every day if you want. This will help build the vision of your future life. You can also ask it to create a daily schedule for you to follow that will allow you to achieve this life. It will give you a schedule to help bring your dreams into reality. You can ask it to change certain things too if you want. If you don't want to use ChatGPT, I get it. Instead, write these things down in a journal. Describe it in detail exactly what I said, just in a journal. Be very specific and start thinking of a day in the life that your future self would want to live. Now, thinking about this future life, I want you to start thinking about how you want to be in the future. What clothes do you wear? What do you eat? How do you stay healthy? How do you feel? You can go to Pinterest for inspiration on this. Find pictures that when you look at them, they inspire you and you want to look like those pictures or do the things in the pictures. Make a Pinterest board of your future life and future self and look at it daily. Next, I want you to think about your current daily habits, your thought patterns, and the way you carry yourself. Are the things you're doing now or how you're acting now aligning with your future self? If they are, that's great. If they aren't, how do you think you're going to become your future self? If you want to become the best version of you, you have to start acting like them now and it will come. If you keep acting the way you are now, you won't get there. So think about how this person walks. Do they walk with purpose and confidence, or do they shy away and keep their head down? Start walking like them in your daily life. This can start out by you just doing it at certain times, like when you're going into a work meeting or going shopping. Then you can start building it up and do it everywhere you go. What does this person wear? Do they hide their body? Do they wear clothes to hide? Or do they wear whatever they want, having no fear of judgment? Do they have a specific style? Do they dress professionally or more casual? Be specific and start wearing these clothes. What does this person eat? Do they fuel themselves with nourishing foods? Do they eat organic? Do they eat a balanced diet, treating themselves when they want but not overindulging? Start eating like them. What time do they wake up? Do they sleep in and scroll social media first thing? Or do they wake up at 6 or 7 a.m. and go for a walk? Start waking up when they would. What hobbies do they have? Maybe they're into art and painting. Maybe they go hiking every weekend or play a sport, work out, go rock climbing. Maybe they love to cook and they try new recipes. What hobbies would the best version of yourself do? Again, start doing them. Now ask yourself, would the best version of me skip a workout? Would they talk negatively about themselves? Would they work in a toxic environment? Would they tolerate unhealthy relationships? Are you doing these things now? How are you going to become better if you are doing the things you know your best self wouldn't? I'll give you an example of when I started doing this in my workouts. If I was walking on the treadmill and I was getting bored, I'd have a thought come into my head that would tell me it's okay to stop early, you did enough today. I paused and asked myself, would the best version of myself stop walking, or would she finish the workout? Obviously, I knew my answer and I finished the workout. Sometimes when I'm weightlifting, I think, would the best version of myself keep lifting these same weights or only do 10 reps? No. So I up my weights when I can and I do as many reps as I can. I've developed many habits based on the life I want to live in the future. I am working towards those goals every day. It's of course not always easy, but you have to be disciplined enough to work for it. If you truly want a better life, you have to stop making excuses for yourself and just do it. Starting to act like your future self can be a little scary at first, especially when it comes to the physical things like what you wear, how you look, and how you dress. If it makes it easier, start with the habits instead. Wake up when they would, don't skip a workout, start eating like they would, and try the hobbies that they would do. Once you get used to those things, then start walking like they would and dressing like they would. If you're worried about what others may think of you, I want you to remember what I said in a previous episode. No one who is doing more than you will ever make fun of you for trying. Why would you care about what someone thinks who is not trying themselves? Do you want to live their life? Probably not, so their opinion of how you live yours is irrelevant. Also, they are not the ones living your life and will not help you get to where you want to go. If people are making fun of you, which I highly doubt, but I know it's a fear many people have, including me sometimes, then you shouldn't want them in your life anyway. Be grateful you saw their true colors and can now distance yourself from them. Surrounding yourself with the right people will help you so much. That's another thing to think about. What kind of people would the best version of yourself be around? Would they be around negative people who hate their life? Or would they spend most of their time with people who also have big dreams and goals and are pursuing them? It is so important to spend time with people who are lifting you up and supporting you. When I dropped the negative people in my life who made me feel bad about myself and started to surround myself with people who support my goals and are encouraging me along the way, I became so much happier and more confident. My dreams don't seem so far away now. If you haven't listened to my episode of my daily healthy habits, I'd recommend listening to that. All of those habits I mentioned in that episode are habits I know my future self would do. Like working out, getting at least 10,000 steps, eating well, taking my supplements, having a morning and night routine, doing my skincare, listing my gratitudes, reading books, listening to podcasts, planning my week, and cleaning up my space. Reading is so huge if you want to become better. What would the best version of you be reading? Start now and gain that knowledge so it's easier to become that version. I promise you, once you start developing these habits and acting like this future you will gain so much confidence and start to believe that your goals and dreams aren't so far away. If right now you don't believe you can achieve those goals, start with these habits and see where it takes your mindset. Also, again, reading and listening to personal growth podcasts is so important for your personal development. All of these things will help you build that belief in yourself, which is crucial if you want to actually achieve these things. Another thing I've been saying to people lately when they're feeling down on themselves or are worried about a situation or scared to go after their goals is, what advice would you give me if I came to you in this situation? I feel like that gets people out of their head, and it's something you can try on yourself too. So if you're scared of doing these things I talked about today, ask yourself if your best friend or your sister or partner or child came up to you and said, "I'm scared to put myself out there and work toward a better life," what would you say to them? You of course want them to achieve amazing things and live a happy life, so why can't you do that for yourself? That is it for today's episode. I really hope it helped you and you're able to take the necessary steps to become the best version of yourself imaginable. If you have any questions or want to talk more about today's episode, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram at growthroughit.pod. Thank you so much for listening. It would mean the world to me if you would rate and review this podcast and share it with someone you think would benefit from it. I truly want to see you thrive, and I know you can do it. Thanks again, and remember that you are worthy. See you next time.